Servus zusammen.
Hello everyone. After the first small winter break, Bayern Munich plays tomorrow against Frankfurt in the Fußball Bundesliga. We got Thomas Tuchel at the podium. The first question. Was it bad or good that you had a longer break, 10 days after the Union Berlin was called off, and what do you think about your opponent Frankfurt? Well, I don't know what it really was. It was completely unusual to have that much time off in a situation when you usually are right at the limit, when you're traveling a lot and you're not practicing at all, and all of a sudden we had time to practice, and our greenkeepers really did a great job that we really had perfect conditions on our pitch. Outside of the pitch, everything is still under large portions of snow, but we have a green pitch to work on, and we wanted to actually up the ante against Union Berlin with more aggressiveness and investing more, and we were ready till everything was called off around Friday because of the snow, and now it was our job to really keep the tension up. It was unusual, but the things you cannot change, you don't have to talk too much about it, whether it's advantage or disadvantage. So tomorrow we want to take the next step and play to win, and so we try to use this week to practice intensively and aggressively on a high level, which we did, and so we have to put that on the pitch tomorrow, because if I look at Frankfurt, if I analyze them, I don't see those 4 losses that they had, which is completely unsatisfying for them. And it's never nice to have many losses on the trust, but I just don't see it. I see a real good team, very quick, very flexible. You can tell who is at the helm. They're playing attractively and flexible. They sometimes attack with 5 or 6 players in the opposing half. They can sit deep and counter and hit you on the counter as well. They can play 4 at the back, 5 at the back. This sometimes happens in a game. So what we analyzed and what we saw doesn't really fit to the results that they had, and I hope that I can tell it to my players as well. I hope that they trust me and that we're not looking at the results too much, but at what's happening on the pitch. And then we are expecting a difficult game and with lots of work, but we should be ready to invest into the game. So I answered all the questions, didn't I? At Frankfurt, they have the coach Dino Topmöller, who knows Bayern very well, who was working here for a couple of times. He was the assistant coach of Julian Nagelsmann, and he was talking to the players a lot. He was really close to the team. Is that something that might be an advantage for Frankfurt going towards the game? Well, he knows the players very well. We didn't have too many changes, and so he's going to look back our recent games and analyze them, but that is nothing unusual. We cannot leave every player out that worked with him, because we wouldn't have a team then. But well, that's part of the business, and I think you can tell his style of playing. They're just missing the results, and we really couldn't see that analyzing the games, and that is definitely credit to him. I only heard good feedback about him from the staff, from the players, and it's good that he's going about his business, and he's going to make life difficult for us. What is the personal situation and what is the comeback plan for Musiala? He'll be in the squad. We have the final practice session coming up still, but he's going to be in the squad. He's not going to play for 90 minutes, and we're going to decide whether he will start or end the game for us. Other than that, apart from Matthijs de Ligt and Bouna Sarr, I think everybody is on board and in the squad.
Für TZ und Marco.
Hallo Herr Tuchel, Sie haben ja jetzt beim FC Bayern Bryan Zaragoza verpflichtet.
You were acquiring Bryan Zaragoza. Can you tell us something about him? What are your plans with him, and what does it mean for the other wingers?
Neue Konkurrenz.
Well, it's a new challenge for the job. We have a very young, very hungry player.
Bisschen Spätstarter in seiner Karriere.
He's a bit late in his career, but he's very self-confident. He knows how to dribble. He's very quick, very good one-on-one. That's the best way to describe him. He's really hungry. He's really self-confident. That's what we get, and that's what we wanted. And we are very happy that he decided to move to Bayern. A couple of weeks ago, you were telling us that you don't really want to meet with pundits privately. The Bild now recently showed a photo where you met with Bastian Schweinsteiger. He's also a pundit. Why did you make an exception for him? Or is he someone that you could imagine working for Bayern? Well, with Basti, it's always been nice to talk to. When I was a coach at Mainz and he was a player with Bayern, always when we were playing against each other, we found 5 or 10 minutes to talk. And that was always funny because he is really cheeky and he has a good sense of humor. And now we met during the national team break. It was by chance we were at the same place, and well, we are staying in contact rather loosely. And now there was a chance to meet and have dinner and have a drink. And it's really great joy, but it's just a friendship thing, and it doesn't really have anything to do with his punditry, because he's the pundit for the German Football Federation Cup, which we are no longer part of. But I rate him highly. I like his the way he goes about things, and he appears to me like he's a very happy person, and so it's a great joy to talk to him, and he's very positive. He's very experienced. We're talking about football, really little only about Bayern Munich, even though you might not be able to imagine that. But we're talking about his experiences and everything, and that's why we did it. Not really a topic for the press conference. 2 more questions. Will you watch the game Stuttgart against Leverkusen on Sunday, or will you spend it with your family? Well, I'm watching extremely many football games, and I'm going to watch this game because we play against Stuttgart next. I've seen Stuttgart against Dortmund, very strong teams, very clear in the way they play, very cleanly and very clear in their orders and on a high level. And so they really deserve where they are at in the table. And this is going to be a very interesting game, and I'm going to watch it. But first we have to play tomorrow, and then Sunday we have an early practice, but then I'm going to watch the game, and that's definitely quite a task ahead against Stuttgart for us. Mr. Tuchel, you were just saying you don't know whether it was positive or negative to have a long layoff. How did you see it with the team? Min Jae Kim, for example, he probably was craving this break. Yes, I think we said on Friday against Cologne that we were actually not too happy playing this, and you could see that we were not tired. We were pretty fresh. Against Copenhagen at home, we were appearing a bit more tired a couple of days later. But what I was talking about, well, it is a fact. It is right on the on knife's edge, but sometimes still, even though you're coming back from a longer travel, and when you're tired, you're still working your way through in a game, and then all of a sudden you have a couple of days off, and with the calmness that comes in, the tiredness will creep in a little bit, and we were talking directly to the team, and we were trying to avoid anybody falling asleep, and that's what we were putting into our practice sessions. It was about winning, it was about competitiveness, a couple of tactical things as well, but it was more about the competition and winning. And it was a really good week with a good mood, and you could see that the players were accepting it, and we need exactly that tomorrow as well. Every player knows it, and the ones that will be competing in that for the first time will hear it from the others, that it's a competitive atmosphere, a very intense atmosphere in Frankfurt, and we expect them to play on their highest level, and the fans will push their team. It's going to be very emotional, a very aggressive game as well, and we have to be ready for this. And obviously for a team and for a coaching staff that's normally used to play every 3 days, then you think, well, you have a feeling for what's going on. You don't have it now because we have so much time off. So you don't really know exactly where you're standing, but in between, usually when you have so many games coming thick and fast, you have the feeling that you're really close and you know how to predict the game. It doesn't really work out all the time, but you at least get the feeling. But we're going to travel to Frankfurt tomorrow in order to prove it. So see you tomorrow.